All right. We are pretty much at the end. Oh, I didn't even notice. Okay. But yeah, where we stopped last time, uh I ended up being directly at the end of the second region. So I jumped immediately into the third one already and got pretty far. I think we're at the end. I think. So, yeah, I did pretty much 95% of the final region. So there's not much to show off. I was thinking about stopping around the third region again. But it's pretty much the same as last time. I've been doing the same string, um, the same stuff, same structure. Yeah. So I pretty much just saved it until the final stretch of the bosses. Ended up looking up how many I have left, and there's only 3. And I wouldn't doubt they're all back to back. I'm sure there's like one final, like the Crucible stage here, but otherwise it's not too far off from what we've been doing. But there is a certain boss that I unfortunately did not show off last stream. Because as soon as I got off, the next one it was a fan favorite. I'm pretty sure it's a fan favorite. So let me do that real quick. Luckily, you get to fight him again during a side quest, which is good. Did you see how long it took before they started to attack me? Like, I swapped scenes so I couldn't see the gameplay, but it really didn't matter, did it? Yeah. I'm kind of looking forward to this to be over, to be honest. I'm glad we're about to wrap this up. Now, the problem is, I don't remember where the heck to go. I think it's right here. Okay. Defeat all the yokai. Yeah, I haven't done anything new to my build at all. All I got was the Calamity stuff. It's pretty much like the Feathers equivalent, or like the maxed out versions. Before, I used to have Burrow. That was pretty good. I probably used it a total of 5 times, like on purpose. I would have kept it, but we can only have 3 ninjutsus equipped at a time, so it's not the most versatile system like it was in 2, which is unfortunate. So I took it off and I replaced it with whatchamacallit, the improved magic to proc confusion. Okay. Let me see if I need to turn up the game a little bit.
We must find a way to reseal.
That should be good. Okay. Time for the rematch.
Turning your blade against me yet again. I finally found my arm. I refuse to be hampered.
I might have the defense boost for being in Samurai. Okay, I did like no damage, which is good. I was gonna spam my feathers. Wow, how did I? I'm surprised that didn't hit me. There you go. Nothing too special, but. I don't want to say it's already end of the game, so it's not much left to say. The bouncing hasn't really changed from the beginning to it is now. Actually, I don't want to go as far as it says it gets easier. Maybe at the final boss there's like a massive difficulty spike, but yeah, for the most part it's pretty straightforward. And I'm not even doing anything too crazy with my build. I've been doing auto equip this entire time. So I'm not doing anything special. Doing the usual like equipping these. And then this is all the same. Fire Shuriken's pretty damn strong. I used to have Poison Shuriken, but I even had Poison Acclimation increases as well as like continuous damage upgrades as well. It didn't seem to do too much. You can toss them out pretty often, but I think these are better. And you get them so fast with like the perfect dodges. And I have a skill to make them even easier. But yeah, it's literally nothing special. Just fire shuriken damage up and it seems to be doing fine. But we'll see how the final boss or final bosses are. Otherwise, though, it's not nothing too crazy. All right, this might be the final one. We'll see. Hey, what's up, Rozzy? Hey, what's up, work? As you can tell, I'm pretty sure you can read me pretty clear. It's been a weird journey with this game. I think we're about 50 hours so far. Yeah. It really took the wind out of me, like my whatchamacallit, my momentum. Yeah, actually I wanted to jump right into Genma after this, right? But I think I might need a little break from stuff for a little bit. I think I'm just gonna immediately after starting this game, or probably around the halfway point, I was thinking I would much rather learn Castlevania 2 right now. Kind of a hot take, but man. Interesting game though. That's for sure. But like I said, I already did all of this pretty much last night, or like since the last time I streamed. I ran through everything. It's not much different than what we saw before. So yeah, I didn't want to put you guys through that a second time. Well, a third time. Yeah, I'm still doing the same exact options and the enemies are still the same. Yeah. Fire Breath is also really good, but only when used mid-air, so jumping Fire Breath virtually usually is enough. Oh, okay. Fire Breath when grounded sucks. Is it just because too much end lag? I'm assuming. Where's this guy at? I've been really liking the Fire Shurikens though. They're pretty much like IS from Ninja Gaiden, so. Dang it. I wanted to perfect dodge that. I can tell a bit by the tone of your voice. You sound a bit more collected than usual. Conflicted. Yeah, I think that's a perfect word. Yeah, I think conflicted is a perfect word. I was also thinking like this is sort of an identity crisis, this game. That's what started to come up after a while. Because I sort of hinted at it during the Nioh 2 video. How sort of losing its edge, pretty much. Like the edge of 1 is pretty harsh. Like those edges, you know, are extremely sharp and not beginner friendly at all. Especially in the beginning tutorial. It's more like that tutorial in 1 is pretty damn difficult. But this game continues that trend from 2. And it has like no more bite, like at all. I don't know. I'm really curious of what the surveys said for this demo, well, the alphas. I'm pretty curious. Because I remember the worm being a legit issue, like a tough enemy. So I wonder if because I also thought it was a tough enemy too, to be honest, but it didn't need to be over. What's the word I'm looking for? The overcorrected, it seems like. So it seems like the whole game is pretty smooth sailing, let's say. Okay, yeah, I wanted to bring that up too. It's pretty classic trope in Nioh 1 and 2. When you go pick up a weapon, specifically 1, like the spiders, every time you'll pick up a weapon, there's a guaranteed hit, right? Like you'll be grabbed or punished or get hit by a boulder and die, right? Like pretty much instant kill setups or near death. But I noticed this game does it as well. But I think it's a good example how they leaned off of punishment in this game, or like not thinking or paying attention to your surroundings. Because when you go pick up an item, an enemy will still drop, but you don't get punished for it. You don't get punished for blindly rushing in without thinking. In the past, you'll be heavily nearly killed for doing that. But yeah, that's another indicator of like how it's shifted this game, like its approach. Now, I don't want difficulty for difficulty's sake, but those things sort of taught you like, okay, pay attention to your surrounding, the enemies, look around corners, look at the ceiling. Like, you had to be very aware of your surroundings. And that's what I was pretty much mentioning about the pros of the first game. 2 still has it to an extent, but nowhere near as much as 1. So yeah, they just really went to the far extreme, it seems like. So you don't really have to do too much thinking, I suppose. I hope to get back to you tomorrow on the place. Oh yeah, no worries. Patient as always. It's a big game that takes a lot of time, yeah. A lot of time. And time I wished I could have been doing something else, if I gotta be honest. Again, that's why I kept mentioning about the CV2 thing. Yeah. I'm curious how much detail I'm gonna go into this video, to be honest. Like, I do try my best to put as much effort as I can. I think I'm gonna skip the basics. I think if you want to learn how to play Nioh, just watch my Nioh 2 video. But this game, I haven't played Nioh at all. Like I said last time, you don't need to use the different roles, the stances, the hitboxes, spatial awareness. Like, none of that really matters anymore. So it's gonna be a pretty brief video, I think. Yeah. So we'll see. when it comes no more bite. Yeah, this game doesn't have the yeah. I remember saying the same thing about DMC5 when I played that game. Literally and figuratively. Because like in DMC3 and 1, right? The beginning boss, Phantom and Cerberus. Like that, those bosses have literal, like a bite. Like it's sort of a massive difficulty spike right at the beginning. And they're very rememberable for that. I remember like for there is the, you know, boss you're supposed to lose to in 5, but I feel like that game and this game sort of share the same, I don't want to say issues, but like approach to balance where it's a little too easy. And it doesn't have that same sort of lasting impression as the previous games. Excuse me. But I remember it all right, but for different reasons, that's for sure. In my video for 2, I pretty much recommended, I gave my quick case to play 1. And I think this is an even bigger reason to go play 1. And I think many people skipped it. So I think it'll be time to go back to really see where I'm coming from with this. So I think that's my biggest, I guess, disappointment about this game. Like level design. And then balance is probably like closely behind. Yeah, these calamity things are crazy good. I'm pretty sure I could have gotten them a lot earlier, but yeah, they're crazy good. You can't really start stacking, what do you call it? Confusion. There you go. You can't stack confusion so easily in this game anymore, because enemies don't stay in a winded state nearly as much, which kind of sucks. No more bite and easy, as an easy or approachable. Oh, yeah, as in easy. It's not. It doesn't push you to learn the game anymore, like the 1 and 2 did. And again, just like how DMC 1 and 2, well, 1 and 3, those beginning bosses really like, okay, this is the game you're gonna be playing. Same for even Mirai in Ninja Gaiden 1, right? Like it's such a massive difficulty spike for many people. So really like, okay, it sets the tone pretty much. And those beginning bosses did that very well. Yeah, this game sets its own tone. Is pretty much what I'm trying to say. I've been doing the same. This is still as powerful, even late game. I've been testing this out like in every region, in every crucible. Yeah, Severing Spin solves everything. When it comes to humans anyways. Pretty powerful. So with perfect eyesight, those Ninjago spinners are going ham. Yeah, those are pretty cool. They actually reminded me of like the God Hand stuff. Like those spinners and things like that. Like crucibles are the only good thing about this game. Only thing. Because it actually feels like an actual Nioh level, which I like. And there was also like an in-between section going from... Oh, I died. That's probably how 80% of my deaths happened, by the way. Falling off a cliff. But... yeah, there was a section in between the second and third region which felt like an actual fun stage. It was pretty much like a bigger Nioh stage, stretched a little bit longer, but the whole thing felt like a maze. There was traps everywhere. You had to be careful of like enemy groups and stuff. Yeah, it was just way more enjoyable to fight or to play. I got lucky there. Whoa, look at that. Grab wind up. I'm off of my wind up. That was pretty damn long. But yeah, I want to say it felt the best because it was an actual, you know, focus level. While the open world, it can be a little more not as honed in. So that's where the big difference comes into play. We're just going to beeline it. I think I'm 1 or 2 levels below the recommended. So it should be fine. I don't think it'll be too bad if I'm not exactly or above. So I'm not too worried about like missing on XP. But I also like to grab my stuff back. Bum bum. Server especially probably filtered a lot of people. Dude, yeah, even me. Oh my god, I almost died the same way. I'm just a magnet for pits. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Yeah, even me, man. The first time I played DMC3, I swapped from normal to easy. Like that's how much Cerberus gave me problems. So yeah, we've come a long way, but yeah, that boss, man. But it taught you everything you needed to know, like quick positioning, jumps out of iframes, even how to roll, look out for patterns, you know. It was a really good boss. So yeah. I probably should be putting too much effort on exploring this thing, but as long as I don't fall off a cliff again, we should be fine. And yeah, the ninja still hasn't been out, whatchamacallit? It hasn't become irrelevant, pretty much. It's become stronger, I think, over time. I think you mentioned it got weaker and you had to rely on deflex more, but no. No way. Yeah, I stayed using this class the entire time. It's pretty crazy. And again, it only got stronger because I got the skill for easier dodges and the calamities for actual confusion now. And yeah. Oh, he almost fell. Bum, 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 bum. Phantom's also memorable for the chase. Exactly, yeah. I think those are rumors, but I remember reading like a dev interview. And some of Kamiya's like coworkers said he wanted more QTEs, or like, you know, QTEs in general in that game. And I can imagine that section specifically would have been a QTE. Probably something similar to the boulder from RE4. Like something like that. We went in a circle. At least we get to see these guys again. But yeah, that section was always cool. Especially since you can actually fight it and win. So that was pretty fun. Like that player choice is pretty good. Oh, another thing too. I didn't dump too much into stamina, but with the more, extra weight equipment, I'm able to wear heavier gear as a ninja. So it's no longer this glass cannon style either that I once was. Now it's, you know, it feels like I'm playing my quality build from Nioh 2. So there's also that. When it relates to becoming easier. There you go. Animating. Ooh, nice. Something with Terry. 3-section staffs. Oh yeah, I can imagine. Yeah. For the day I'm setting on horizontal swing +4. Ooh, nice. Are you using like any references for that? Like trying to imagine that with, you know, with your imagination might be pretty hard. The ones in Masochisteria. I think I said that right. Those people box. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's the one. Stat increases with leveling. It's so insignificant. Equipment matters more. A magnet for pits, you say? Good thing the T in pits isn't the same last letter. Wait. Remember, okay, last time. Yeah, I get confused by this every time for some reason. Oh yeah. I'm a little slow. Be patient with me. I'm a little slow. Okay, ruin in a circle. But that is how it goes sometimes. But yeah. Have you guys actually been playing Nioh 3 at all? Or is it only sort of view on it from like my streams and other people's like videos so far? At this point, I probably spoiled a lot of it. But yeah. Okay, this is the shortcut. Okay. It's raining right now. It's been raining all day, which is pretty nice. But fair warning, just in case like internet cuts out. So if that happens, it wasn't because I rage quitted. It's because the internet probably went out. Actually, spoilers. Let me know when you're ready to interview. Interview? What you talking about, Richo? What you talking about? No, that ain't right. I'm trying to think, where would it work in that game? And I'm not too sure. Like, the chase scene would probably be the only one, but again, that the player choice of like fighting or running would have been removed, right? If there was a QTE. So yeah, I don't think DMC 1 should have had him. I think it was better without, but that thing has crazy tracking, by the way. The electricity attack, it snaps. It's a straightforward shoot, like very quick, and it pierces, but it tracks like crazy. It's a laser, pretty much. Like an enemy was dodging as I used it, and it still hit him. Like it followed him pretty harshly. So yeah, there's no con to that calamity, is what I'm trying to say. What the? All my attacks is whiffed, I guess. Down he goes. Is deflated the right word? I think that's another way how I feel about this game. Well, after playing it for so long, I think deflated is the right word. It really siphons my optimism, I guess. Yeah, 'cause it was pretty fun. Like we immediately stopped talking about Nioh 3 the last stream as well. We went on a pretty long rant about its issues, and the game proved it in real time, which is the crazy part. So yeah, there's really not much to say more about this game. I did go back to that stream and picked up, pretty much wrote down what I said. So I'm just gonna clean that up. But yeah, my thoughts still haven't changed after doing another region. Oh, that's a lot of damage. How the mighty have fallen. Because this guy was pretty damn... they call him a formidable enemy, but... I don't think so. Bum, 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 bum. Kamiya is ever gluttonous for QTEs. He is. He is. Sword key for the samurai sword destroys both key bars. 4 or 5 sword key is enough to drain a boss's entire key bar, both in normal and your craft. Oh, okay. Fearless with Jet Li ideas for... Oh, okay, nice. And the chase scene makes me think of Rayman 1 or at least Rayman Redemption prior to the boss with Mr. Sax. There's a lot of... chase when he shoots. He'll walk back eventually, but if you hit the bad nasty turn into... Oh, that's pretty cool. Went down... That's actually really cool. I'm also thinking of like Solstice now, with the whole chase scene with... I forget his name. But like the two-formed guy, right? With the head and like the power armor looking guy. Reminds me a bit of that. Isn't Rayman 1 getting a modern port? Didn't that happen at the the showcase? I already forgot. I think it was a PlayStation one. I think that just got announced. Or I might be crazy. I think before the actual boss fight. Oh, interesting. Yeah, it's really nice. My puppy was sleeping next to me, so we just relaxed for the longest time. Enjoying Sound on the Rain for a while before getting up. You usually fight one enemy at a time in Nioh 1 and 2 as well. It's just not the same in this game. Again, you're pretty powerful. You have a lot of speed, and the enemies aren't built for it. Yeah. That's also what I'm gonna touch on about the video, pretty much where I end it. They just need to make Ninja Gaiden at this point. I think that's what they're going for. What they should go for anyways at this point. It's pretty loud and clear to me, like when I was mentioning the identity problem. Like they want to make a certain game, but putting it in Nioh just doesn't make sense. They got to start over. That's the thing. They got to use enemies, not what I'm trying to say here. Like the enemies that you see a lot in this game were made specifically for the stand system and like those limitations. But the ninja just, you know, you don't have to care about that anymore. So the interactions are pretty much non-existent. So they gotta just make enemies built for this guy, for the style. And it seems like they're always dipping their toe into this, you know, Ryu playstyle. We got the Izuna drop, we got the flying swallow, we got the wind path. Everything's here. We just need the enemies to actually put the speed to good use. So that's what I'm hoping for. I hope this is the last we see of Nioh, if I gotta be honest. Unless they take a massive, like, shift away from this style. Here we go. Here we go. finally got an updated one. The other one was pretty outdated. I have Sloth, but I have a sneaking suspicion it's not going to be very good, especially as good as 1. Like, I was using... Where is it? Where is it? Da-da-da-da. It was tied to the crawling boss in the second region. Barrier, here we go. This is nowhere near as good. I'm not sure if it gives you enough ki back, but it sure doesn't last as long. And you can't upgrade it. Well, I'm still confused on how upgrading works, if I gotta be honest. But yeah, I didn't really stick with it too long. I was dumping it to health at this point. There's not much to do, specifically. Boss so far? I don't even know. I honestly don't know. Can we check? Is that like a bestiary? There has to be... I suppose not. But yeah, it feels like bosses are in one ear and out the other. Like, I do attempt them like a few times, but yeah. Maybe Doji, because the design is so cool. Like, we just started the stream fighting her in the side mission, but again, the bosses don't really stick out mechanically too much. But yeah, very, very strange game. I wish grapples were stronger in this game. Because again, enemies don't stay winded for a long time. So we can't really do 0 ki combos. And we really can't proc confusion because they recover too quick. And start the yokai round phase, the dark round phase. We went in a circle again, by the way. I'm all over the place with this game. I can't even fast travel either. The horror. The chasing with Colossus Jared. Yeah, that one. Underrated in my opinion. Yeah, it's a really good game, man. I'm honestly very surprised. Like, the reception I've heard about it for so long. It's really weird. Again, though, like I mentioned in the video, the clear rates for that game is abysmal. Like 4% just to beat it once. That's insane. Like insanely low. Like crazy low. So I don't know why, but many people didn't get too far. So I'm guessing that's why it's pretty rare to hear a defender of the game, and it's more common to hear like the mixed opinions about it. So that makes sense, but yeah, it's a really fun game. I think Solstice is better than this game, if I gotta be honest. If I gotta be completely honest. Yeah. Like the bosses were more interesting. The enemies were more interesting. So I think I'm gonna put this game pretty low on the rank. It's still a good game in the sense that it's functioning. But it's pretty straightforward. Or like one note. I think Kunutagami is a better action game than this. And I know people wouldn't consider that game an action game, but I think it does a way better job in a lot of ways. Again, the level design and having actually unique enemies. So that would be a good game to play over this for that reason. Okay, I remember opening this. I'm assuming this is a shortcut, and that's why we went in a circle. Okay. Yeah, I'm so used to autopiloting in this game. Because you can, is the thing. Again, I showed it as well, like in the demo. You can pretty much walk around aimlessly because there's nothing pushing you forward majority of the time, which is unfortunate. The only level, again, was sort of like the maze-ish temple area. But besides that, that's a extreme rarity for actual level, like for like, you know, encounter design. But yeah, I'm just gonna recommend people play Nioh 1 even more. And yeah, play Kunutagami. Has the art style, the yokai. Yeah. I don't want to say Nioh has reached its, what's the word I'm looking for? Its full potential with 1 and 2. Like, I would like to think there's still more to do with this series. Whoopsie. But this direction just wasn't it for me. Now, I know it's pretty common to say that Team Ninja follows the trends. I can see that. I can see that. Oh, I hit Mr. Wall, man. And I think this is the first time or only time where I really felt like, okay, high five? No high five. But yeah. Yeah, I don't think this was a good call following the open world trend. It's pretty funny too, because we even heard this with the Metroid Prime 4 interview. Like, they even knew themselves, like, uh-oh. It was a good idea 5 years ago, but nowadays the sentiment is pretty different. So I'm assuming the same was true for this game. Like, they were probably making this a while ago, and, you know, having an idea of open world, but yeah, definitely a quick fad. So yeah, I haven't played Metroid Prime 4, but I do understand where longtime fans are coming from, because I think that's what I'm feeling when it comes to this game. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, we say now about certain fundamental design decisions don't feel right compared to 1 and 2. Makes me think of reception of Darksiders 3. I did play Darksiders 3 actually. That was my first Darksiders. I did play 1 at a cousin's house. Well, my uncle's house for sure. I just remember liking the cover because I had the glistening sort of effect on it. I thought it was pretty cool. But yeah, it wasn't until 3. That's the one I played and finished for the first time. I liked the game. It had that, you know, adventure aspects, different suits, movement abilities. Well, I don't think movement, but at least exploration. Like, I like that whole aspect of the game. So I definitely had, okay, finally he punishes you for rushing in. I definitely had a different perspective going into that game. Like, I didn't have, you know, previous expectations. Well, you know, Nioh 3 I do, right? This game I have decades worth of like prior experiences that I will like to be met in some way. So yeah. I'm assuming that I'm really curious as to what a fan of this game would have to say about it. Like, I like the quality of life stuff of equipping armor. And I like how there's more options to increase yourself. I like the larger blessings. I like how you can equip 2 sets of clans as well. That's pretty cool. Like this, the passives are more expanded upon. But everything else, though, I'm not too sure. Doji, yeah, the crop top sword lady. They were promoting her pretty boldly, man, for good reason. So this is a pretty long game with some pacing issues, and it's not the easiest game. Yeah, pacing I do get that. I think my only problem with that game was just the progression, because you had to buy the key, like the permission to buy more upgrades with from the shop. Like, I don't mind story gated like progression stuff. Like, this game does the same thing, right? Like, it's only a certain point can you oh no, I wanted to get a part 2. You know how last time we had the guy get stuck? I thought we were gonna have a part 2 again. But yeah, the tracking in this game. Well, what's the phrase or the wording? The pathing is a little wonky. But yeah, just the progression is my problem with Solstice. That's pretty much it. Oh, and I wish enemies had anti-juggle properties. Because after playing Ninja Gaiden 4, I'm like, oh, actually, that would have been very helpful to have in that game. But besides that, though, I think the game was really good. Bum, bum, bum. Major difficulty spike in the second half of the game. The tower defense game, yeah, it's like tower defense combined with payload. Yeah, and he mixes up the concepts very well. The layouts extremely well. The enemy groupings. The added gimmicks or like stage hazards, new ones constantly. It's a ever evolving game with its concepts. Very good game. Like, that was my game of the year, I think. Yeah, because it was Stranger of Paradise, Bayonetta Origins, and then Kunutagami. Yeah, I think that was the years of stuff. Yeah, that was a well put together game. I wish more people played it. Look at that key damage. Whoa, that is some far distance. You know what's another shame about this game? Now that we had a jump and a crouch, I was really hoping for those to be actually useful in patterns. Get out the way. So I'm thinking of like Maxima, right? Like actually using the jump to avoid lows, crouching to avoid highs and stuff. Whoopsie. But again, when we're fighting enemies that were not intended for those sort of mechanics, because we're using a lot of enemies from 1 and 2, it doesn't really work out that way. I think those are unblockable. Okay. That's one down. Bum, 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 bum. That, and I think the average person may be negatively impressed with the color coding. Yeah. It is unfortunate how one game or even like common sentiment really affects what's the word? I guess like how you look at there's a word for it, but like yeah. It stems from Reboot mainly. DMC Reboot. It really turned people off from the idea, unfortunately. But Solstice proves it can work. And I hope people will give it a chance because it's pretty fun. Nioh 1 and 2 for someone whose their action game are the DMC and Bayonetta style and approach. I'm open to try. That's tough. If you're okay, just the fact you're willing to try something new is a good thing already. Nioh 2 has the freedom of like character building. Like you get to choose what type of yokai abilities you want, weapon style, like what type of play style you want to create for yourself. So if you want that sort of player freedom, it's there in that way. Okay, DMC and Bayonetta definitely have more like cancel free flowing combat, so you might prefer 2 than 1. Because 2 has a lot of cancels. I mean, a lot. While 1 is very committal for the most part. There's no, like, get out of jail free cards. And 2 has quite a lot of them. If I gotta be honest, quite a lot of them. That you still get heavily punished in that game, so that's pretty good. Like, for, like, overcommitting for the most part. Yeah, I say start with 2. I think you'll like 2. And then go back to 1 if you want more, but sort of stripped down. But I wouldn't consider that a bad thing. It's just more, as I like to say, focused. But yeah, that game's even more difficult than 2. I would only recommend that game if you're a really big fan of Nioh and want to have like a sort of challenge run with the mechanics of Nioh. But yeah, definitely play 2. I think you'll like 2. I like the boss so far. Like the double-headed koi fish. That's pretty cool. I wonder if I have to fight this boss. That was a weird timing. Twice in a row. Or if it'll just jump to this guy. Okay. Yeah, if we do just jump straight to this guy, that'll be pretty nice. I also tried whatchamacallit. What's it called? Toyotomi? Like getting health back with Amrita. It wasn't very good, I gotta be honest. I think they definitely nerfed it on purpose in this game. I don't blame them because it is pretty damn strong. But I've been using Toto. Dude. I think it has a ninjutsu buildup. Okay, that sounds pretty good. I'm using ninja a lot. But I think you get a health bonus scaling with stamina. And it's a pretty beefy HP upgrade. basically 2 times what you have. Yeah. So I jumped from like 2k to 4k health just by equipping that thing. Ultimate other dude, I'm really like, I've known that for a while, and I've been wanting to play it for a good while, good long time. It's just gotta find the time, man. So many games. Like, I know there's something called Maximum Edition. It's a community-made like fix, quote unquote, for that game. I don't think it takes out the unskippable cutscenes, but it does like tweak some things to make it easier. Not easier, but like actually better pacing. But yeah, that's indeed a different perspective regarding Dark Souls 3. Glad you liked it. Just play on the normal combat. I don't know, actually. I don't remember which style I played on. I want to say it was default. So the more Souls-like one, I suppose. Because I remember that being like a sore spot at the time. That's gonna be curious to go back to, because I would like to play both play styles to see which is better for the game. But yeah, it's been so long. Souls does have a sort of anti-juggle or incentive to keep them up rather than... Oh, okay. First time that you hit the ground, there's some room to launch them again before they recover. They're grit and full. The second time you drop them, they have a guaranteed immunity wall. Oh, I didn't even know that. I guess with all the jump reset and air dash reset, I barely even noticed, because that combo is pretty powerful. Like, you can kill him in one go pretty much. Okay, well, we gotta fight this guy again, but let's gotta not heal more than twice probably. I think there's a skill to have one more elixir. I might have to do that. Most times I don't have to use everything I own, but since we gotta fight 2 bosses back to back, I might have to. Look how much damage I'm doing.
I'm the only one who can.
Let me put that on. Whoopsie. I forget I even own yokai abilities. Oh my god. Get my key back. Alright, I'm just gonna pelt him with incendiaries pretty much. No! That's not good. Whoopsie. Okay, a little better. So yeah. Oh, we go right into it. 1 second.
Know your place.
Whoopsie. Crap. What a weird timing. Oh, I think he dodged my electricity. Okay, we're looking okay. Knock on wood. I do. Oh my! I totally forgot about the henshin mode in this game. Honestly. Yeah, we can definitely squeeze out a win. That's it. Okay. Not bad. Darksiders being closer to Souls-like road many folks the wrong way, especially with their less air combat. Like a catch. Oh, okay. I do get the dodge thing because that's how I feel about Ninja in this game. So I think I understand their point of view as time goes on. But the impression I got from the criticism was the whole game was bad, and I don't agree. The game is good. But I can definitely understand like the finer details being lost in that combat system. But overall though, that game's pretty good.
Lord Ieyasu.
Did you mean the word perception in regards to the word for how you look at something? I think so, yeah. When it comes to like the idea of the color coded system, yeah. Animation, lack of animation canceling, classic mode brought that back, I believe. Maybe worth give us a DLC because they have different bosses. Oh, nice. Avoid bestow new weapons, variants, and hollow weapons. Don't know how the practical differences they. Okay. I'm glad they actually got more support after a while. That's pretty cool. Is like mine when I get the Chompa Chat zone and ignore that. Yeah, man. The ninja just gives you that freedom or power immediately. You really don't have to earn anything. And the progression systems only make it stronger. So, yeah. Ninja is pretty damn good, to put it lightly. I haven't had to play Nioh a single time in this game. That's how strong it is. It's to be expected is the price of being Chad loyal to a weapon. Well, I wasn't loyal to the dual blades this time. We went to the single katana and it's been working out pretty good. The Crucible in Darksiders 2 and 3 have a super boss to them. Funny that Darksiders and Bayonetta are the only casual super bosses. Oh, super bosses in action games. Like we talked about Final Mix, right? Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 Final Mix have super bosses added.
What would you do?
I consider Sekiro an action game. And there's what was it called? The Flame Demon? That's a super boss in my opinion. I think you're right though. It's pretty rare to have that sort of boss. I would like to see more of them actually. Okay. I'm pretty sure there's an auto pickup in this game, like Stranger Paradise, but Okay, yeah. I think there's only 1 or 2 more bosses in this game. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's any other super bosses in games that aren't just like recolored, stronger variants. And I can't think of any. Like there's Rodin, right? Is that how you say his name? Rodin from Bayonetta? Again, I wish Ninja Gaiden 4 had Tyron and Ayane as a secret boss, especially Ayane, because she's sort of, if you read her description in her missions, she keeps talking about how she's testing Yakumo to see if he's ready, pretty much. And I don't think going on a scavenger hunt really puts him to the test. So it would have been cool if, like, after you found all her kunais, that you have like a final boss with her. That would have been super cool. But yeah, maybe in the DLC, maybe. Any plan to review Lost Soul aside? I dare say it's better than the music say about it. I want to, man. Is this the time? It's like, when do I find the moment to squeeze it in is the thing. Yeah, because what was the vote between? It was between Nioh 2 and the combo of Stellar Blade and Lost Soul Aside. So yeah, the chances of me covering is pretty low, if I gotta be honest. I'm gonna do it eventually.
The great spirits don't
TM, but it'll happen. It'll happen because we're pretty deep into the genre. Like, there's not much left to cover. Like, in comparison to, you know, how much we've done.
follow Kusanagi.
So yeah, we'll get to it soon enough. I finished Rome is the Dead. Wait, I thought it was just a demo. The whole game is out. Great boss fights and music might be Grasshopper's base. Really? Okay, if you played Killer is Dead, how do you compare it? Because I think Killer is Dead is their best combat game. So if it's anything close to Killer is Dead, I'll be happy.
Murakumo.
So fingers crossed. And No More Heroes 3 was pretty
The embodiment of rebirth.
underwhelming, I'll say.
To maintain balance and
Dun,
pursue
dun, dun, dun.
through time. Righteousness and
They don't play similar
over
at all beyond the vague concepts of being games. You do cool combat in real time. The Nioh games are not character action games.
to clash.
And even then, I'll call them action RPGs. I don't really
Murakumo's dark radiance
don't use Souls-likes as a term, or character action.
it was now
Vampire Smile, Dante May Cry, Assault Spy, Icy, Frisia, Kamui Hakai, Mikai, and Rain are all character action though. Wouldn't particularly recommend any unless you've played all the good games and are desperate for more. That's how it tends to be, I think. Even then though, like,
so
I think even
Kusanagi.
big fans of the genre are probably more fans of just their singular franchise, and even then probably just their one game. That's the impression I get anyways. It seems pretty rare to step out of the comfort zone sometimes. It makes sense though, because these games are pretty skill intensive. Like, you got a lot to learn. So to start over is, I understand people not wanting to do that, but it is pretty fun. Did you ever play Celebrate? I haven't. I didn't even play the demo, actually. I was just kind of holding off until I got the full game.
You'll have to live to see it.
Yeah. I heard the demo doesn't sell the game too well, and it gets better later. And I want to believe him. I'm pretty sure. But my only recent experience with a demo is Nioh 3, and that really it set the tone, and I didn't get the wrong impression. It might have gotten worse over time, but yeah. So I want to play Stellar Blade. Eventually, though. Eventually. Kingdom Hearts very much says about different flavor than God of War, Bayonetta, Dark Souls. You can even say the same thing about the other games. The other games are different flavors as well, which I like. So it's funny because like there's a community agreed upon set of games that count and some that don't. And that's only because they haven't been talked about long enough or have a large enough following. I think that's pretty much what it is. I think like even when I talk about Onimusha, the question of it being included amongst like Devil May Cry, Bayonetta, Ninja Gaiden is questioned. But I would disagree though. I think it does belong amongst them. And it seems like it's not really seen that way because it's different or perceived as simple, which is definitely not the case. So yeah, you just got to spread the word, and eventually it'll gain like, I guess, favor, I suppose. Action adventure Souls hack and slash hybrids. I'm curious how comparison between Stellar Blade, Dark Souls 3, and Clash. Is Stellar Blade an adventure game? I never got that. I never heard about that actually. I never heard anybody compare it to an adventure game. I heard more people compare it to a Souls-like, and I don't think that's true. Like that's been tossed around so many times. Like as a comparison, I mean, that I tend not to believe it, because at this point it seems like that's the standard for combat systems, and anything before the year of 2016, 2015 isn't explored or played. So I just have to assume Souls-like is just a blanket term. It's a Devil May Cry game of the past like decade. So when I hear that, I just sort of, it doesn't tell me anything anymore. So, and what a Souls-like is different from person to person as well. So yeah, that's why I don't really care for those terms. Okay, so we're going back to the tutorial for a third time. This guy was an enemy in Nioh 2, right? In the demo? Yeah. Yeah. I mentioned this last time, but you don't seem... The variety of enemies is pretty poor. Or maybe it feels like that because, again, there's no unique levels to make him interesting. So it feels samey. Like, we fought the Yoki, or Yokai, a lot in the first game. A lot. But it always felt different because of the stages. So it was done right before. But we fight the same sort of spear goblin guy a few hundred times, and it's the same every 100th time. So it gets pretty stale pretty quick, this game. Mizuki. At least we get the double fight. I should have saved my wind for both of them though. It's sort of like a lesser version of a Wind Blades, which is pretty cool. I'm just gonna pelt him. That should kill him, hopefully. There we go. God. I'm just gonna scrap 99% of that stuff, but... Bum, 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 bum. I believe it has segmented worlds with connections and shortcuts. Oh, okay, that's pretty cool. I didn't know that. I bought Interstellar Blades hype and it's solid. Boss fights are really great, but the overall combat outside of that leaves a lot to be desired. I heard the same thing. I heard that the bosses were the highlights. So I'm excited about that. Like if a game has good bosses, that does a lot for me. Yeah, because I'm a big fan of boss rush games. So if they can get fun bosses, then I'm good to go. Because you can say the same thing about Rising with Vengeance. We fight the same like 4 enemies in that game. But yeah, the highlights are the bosses every time. Oh, okay, speaking of, I lost my train of thought last time. But yeah, Stellar Blade is commonly compared to a Souls-like, and I don't think so. It actually reminded me a bit of Killer is Dead, I gotta be honest. Like you have the sidearm, different ammo types. It's more of a grounded game. You know, we have the singular sword. And it has, you know, the basics of a perfect dodge and a parry. So it reminds me of Killer is Dead, where it has this style. It has all the fan favorites. And just solid all around. Like, is this a pretty solid game? Now, I haven't played Stellar Blade just yet, but I think I'll compare it to Killer is Dead. That's my guess, anyways. If not, it'll be a good attempt to reach that sort of standard, which is pretty good for a first-time action game dev, to be honest. So, that's not too bad. I'll be happy if more games aimed for Killer is Dead. Like quality. It was pretty fun. I just sigh, like when I see enemies. I just see them as such an inconvenience. I guess because I just want to get this game over with at this point. And we're so close. So close. Okay, I've seen thumbnails for Nioh 3 reviews. And the one that keeps being recommended to me and keeps sticking out, something about it being a class of its own or something like that. I would agree. Not super high up in the class, but it's definitely on its own in quality. But yeah. Yeah, because after I make my video, I'm going to watch what other people had to say, because I'm very curious. You guys told me it's doing well, sales-wise. Now, I wonder if that's just Nioh 2 fans over the years that's, you know, come along, like, okay, let's buy the new game. So I wonder if, like, after those fans sort of picked it up and then see how it goes from there. Like, if it continues the momentum or it just drops off. We'll see. Stellar Blade is not standing still at one spot. Pairing. Maybe. It might be, but I don't know. I don't want to immediately write off the game as that simple, but I'll have to see, man. What that means, I've played both games. They don't play very similar. Where does the Simon come? Enemies in Stellar use purple, red, or I think orange attack. You just react to the given responses to color. Negate them. I think Clash artifacts of Chaos normal encounters are more of a highlight. There's good bosses, yet I think they very distinct individual. Enemy team-ups per encounter interesting besides the wildlife. There are never two Verrix. Miniature fighting game. Have you ever played Absolver? Because that's what that game looks like to me. Especially when you mention like the whole sort of fighting game inspired mechanics and like the adventure aspects as well. Like I think Absolver might be up your alley if you really like Clash. Well, that Clash, I mean. So I know there's like first person games before it. Yeah, I haven't played Absolver much at all, so I can't say for sure. And I haven't played Clash either, so again, I'm not too sure. But just by like what I've seen, there might be some crossover. I remember I tried to play Absolver. I think it was free on PS Plus years ago. And at the time, you know, I was playing For Honor. So I wanted more of that sort of third-person PvP sort of thing. With like stances and stuff like that. Yeah, I couldn't get too far into it. I think because you have to build up your character and then use them in PvP. Excuse me. It's not like a simple, you know, 2 different modes with a fully decked out character. It's you have to build up your build first. And I think even how you obtain moves is pretty wonky. Like you have to be hit by a move or see it 25 times or like 100 times. It was a very weird like requirement from what I remember. Yeah, okay. It seems pretty tedious in that way. But I'm glad they made a Sifu though. Have you guys even played Rematch? It's such a far departure from what they've made from the past like 10 years. So I never tried it because I was hoping for another like third person beat 'em up. But I do understand wanting to mix it up after a while. I heard it did pretty good though. I think it did 1 million sales like within the first week or month. That's kind of crazy. I think it was only $20. So yeah, I think they did pretty well for themselves. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I wonder how involved Rematch is. These things too, man. They don't feel great at all to use. Even the grappling hook in Rise of the Ronin feels way more better, I guess. A lot more speedy, at least. It was good with the opposite issue for fundamental fights. Really? You didn't like the boss fights? Now that's interesting to hear. Because I think they're my favorite part. Well, the whole game is really good. But yeah, I think the bosses were great. Especially the girl in the snow. Yeah, she's my favorite. The fact she actually makes you use like the catch timing with the projectiles. Like, dude. Yeah, fast, aggressive bosses, unique mechanics. It's pretty fun. I was going to do Pro Goals of Pro Skater 4. The original, I think the remake would have gone if they included those Pro Goals. Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, the camera shaking and the explosions. The big booms in Shipyard wouldn't have been very nice to people. That game took way too much out, though. I haven't played it myself, but yeah. I wish I heard good things about that game. Look at the game I've been describing in my last few comments. Clash Artifacts Chaos. It's fairly unique and solid game. It's one of the closest things to God Hand since Absolver. The first 2 Xenoblade Class games are first person. Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, so how do you know about Xenoclash then? Like, have you been playing the game since the first person games? Or you started with the beat 'em up, well, the third person beat 'em up, and worked backwards? I'm just so disinterested about this game. I'm reaching my boiling points. Pretty close. Pretty close. I think if it wasn't for a video, I probably would have abandoned this quite a long time ago. Because I'm seeing the same stuff since the first region. Like, it hasn't changed since. So
You've seen quite a lot yourself.
it's one of the rare cases where you see everything you have to see within the first 10, 15 minutes. And the only game that works with is Tetris. Most times, that's not a good thing to say about your game. Tetris, though, I think that's a... That might be one of the rare 10 out of 10 games. I gotta be honest. It has to be a must-play game, in my opinion. It's too fun not to play that game. Yeah, we're just gonna beeline. Get me out of here, please.
What a twisted, fearsome appearance it has.
I don't think there's really much stuff worth picking up anymore, if I have to guess. I guess this must have been a shortcut, it looks like. Not only did I have to spend 50 hours playing this game, I gotta spend same, if not more, making the video. So yeah, I think that's also where I'm coming from about this being very draining. Because I have a lot more ahead of me with this game. I'm kind of tempted to even, like I said, I think I don't want to say phone it in, but I'm gonna definitely be very blunt and say don't play this game like Nioh. So there's no point in me covering it again. Those sort of mechanics. There's no real point in this game to do that. Like at all. Ever. So yeah. Quite the game. Imagine if Team Ninja wins Best Action Game of the Year with this game. That would be very, very ironic. What a shame. Yeah, let me catch up with you guys. Not like God Hand, if I may ask, besides the stages, inability to... Oh, okay, that makes sense. Even in DMC 1, you couldn't replay stages. I think that's the only thing I will like from the remake. In the, you know, in a potential remake. Unfortunately, things never are one-to-one. There's always something missing somewhere. Yeah, if there's something I can change about the base game of DMC 1, it would be a stage select. Like, I have all 25 save slots for specific missions or like difficulties. Yeah, so if they can, you know, do that part, just a stage select. But again, the game is short enough where it's not really a big problem. It's like an hour long, so it's not too crazy. Or like something DMC 3, you know, is actually a good addition to have. Since it's a bit longer. Oh, thank goodness. If it said locked, I was going to be pretty upset. Oh, thank goodness. That's really it. I like the toy tutorial with the enemies, and it wouldn't let me. Okay. Image and trailers are like, take no hits done, which is a red flag. Even God Hand had that. The bosses definitely had an invisible stagger gauge. I want to say even, I think Tiger Joe had no hits done unless you punished him, like his end lag. And he also dodged a lot too. He had a mix of everything. The demons, I don't think have hits done either, if I gotta remember. I think they hyper armor as well. Yeah, it always depends, man. I know what you mean, but it's a slippery slope for both approaches. Because if you just have immediate hits done all the time, you could mash and probably deny any, like, you know, back and forth. So that's why I do like hyper armor for some enemies. Like that's why I like Ninja Gaiden Black so much, because it does both. Well, even DMC3, it does both. You know, have immediate hits done and some have hyper armor. You know, I think both approaches work, and I think there should be a balance of both enemy types. Mainly elite enemies having hyper armor. But like even Streets of Rage 4, same thing. Like half the enemies have immediate hits done, the elites have hyper armor. The bosses have hyper armor as well, but like they're actually vulnerable during the punish window, which I like. And that's when they're vulnerable to like hit stun and combos. So it makes you earn it, which I like. Yeah, it's always a balancing act. Some problem with NG4 static can traverse. Yeah, dude. I mentioned that too at the time. There was an entire segment in that video where I was going to compare the traversal to Shinobi. Like that's how it was done before. It was more player control, especially for like the wall running mechanics. But even in this game, like when you jump to stuff, it's not really you doing it. It's pre-canned. Well, in Ninja Gaiden, you actually had to, leap to the, swinging pole or whatever. I guess they want to avoid the final stage, the escape sequence of Ninja Gaiden 1. But I think that's a really cool, like, skill test for platforming. There's not many of those in that game. And with how advanced, unique the platforming is in Ninja Gaiden 1, I'm glad there was something to actually put it to the test, especially at the end. But yeah, as time goes on, man, they took away the platforming, the real-time platforming. Like even the newer God of Wars have the same problem. Like the fact you have to press a button to leap over a small puddle. Pretty bad. Pretty bad. I had a fun time comparing the original game to the newer ones for that video. Nightshade is the definition of Kino. It's a good game, man. Like I know when I made my Shinobi video, I knew people weren't going to go back to my Nightshade one. It's an older video too, so I don't mind. But yeah, that's why I did as many comparisons or shout outs to the sequel, because it does some cool stuff. So yeah, hopefully I got more people to play Nightshade as well, not just Shinobi, because both of them are really cool. And I might like Hibana more than Hatsuma. Yeah. So that's another reason why people should play that game. Let me go, please. Oh. Is this progression? We don't want to fall down there. Please. Please be progression. And I have stick drift too, which is not helping my case here. Hot take God of War away. Always leaned on the dumb. I don't know, man. I don't know. If we're gonna say XXY, if we're gonna use that argument, we can say the same thing about Ninja Gaiden 2. Like if we're gonna go there, we can say the same thing about a lot of action games. Right. Even like Bayonetta with the PKP. These games always have their sort of, even Ninja Gaiden 1, everything's pretty much solved with a Zuno drop. From my memory, God of War 1 does a pretty good job of like combining enemies at the very least. Like combining flying enemies with the ones that, like Medusa's, right? So if you're in the air and get caught, well, if you're a stone, you're going to instantly die. So having that sort of like awareness for like, you know, the grouping, that's more than most can say. To be honest, that's more than most action games can say. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to covering God of War because it is the first series I got into for the action genre. So I do have a soft spot for it. And I think it's very well worth the play. So we'll get there eventually. What a shame. What a shame. Like that Falcon bird flip is nowhere near as cool as Ninja Gaiden. It still impresses me how that game, 20 years, is still like uncontested for like, you know, player movement. It's kind of insane. Like this game has a similar stuff and it feels nowhere near as refined. Flying Swallow does not feel good. Wind Path doesn't feel good. Like they want to add more movement stuff to this game, but it's the wrong game to do it in, I think. So yeah, I kind of wish this wasn't Nioh at all, but it is what it is. In past two, holy crap, I really need to hit the hay. Sounds good, Orc. Wish you to be here. Yeah, appreciate you dropping by, especially this late. Appreciate that. Yeah, catch you next time. The real question is, do you like the Hibana more than Kasumi and Taki? Oh, that's a tough one. Damn, which one? Oh, that's a tough one.
Death Veil, lend me your strength. Let the crucible invest all of Japan.
I think I want to say Hibana, Taki, and then Kasumi. But I don't. That's a tough one, bro. That's a really tough one. So Caliber Girl was he Alexandra's crazy daughter in 5, saying they deleted her because of her brother was stolen. Oh wow. Most action games can be button mashy if you want. This is why it works in Nioh 1 and 2 and God of War. Yeah, there's always a prominent strategy. The difference that makes one more interesting than the other is the enemy design. Like that's why Ninja Gaiden 1 is still fun, even though we Zuno drop everything, because the enemies are actually pretty fun and like layered, and you have to earn your openings. But Ninja Gaiden 2, there's no counterplay, so it's pretty for the most parts, you know, it's not as intricate of a game as the first one was. Black, because Vanilla 4, NGO 4, I mean, it was pretty simple, but yeah, NG2 really needed its re-release just a long time ago. It still trips me out that Sigma 2 came out a year after Vanilla 2. But yeah, they just took the wrong direction in some areas. It's the same thing as Vanilla 2, like it has good things about it, but it still has its own glaring issues. Like both games are not perfect. Is this the final boss? This guy looked pretty cool, but he's been sort of fodder a lot of the time. Bum, bum, bum. Google tells me it's Alexandria, it's degree. Google AI, okay. The legend himself, what separates the ninja guy's enemies is AI. Our AI is smart, is not a vegetable. Oh yeah, exactly. So I've had a lot of likable characters, and if you just look at the girls, even had my wife. Isn't Zasa Lamau the scythe guy? Dude, yeah, that might be the scythe guy, no? Zasa Lamau? Because that name stuck out to me during the demo. Where am I going here? I think we're at the end of the game, so we're so close. We are so close with this thing. Yeah. I think that's perfect. I think that's perfect how I feel right now. Dude, I am so looking forward to playing Castlevania 2 over this game. I'm gonna take some time to just enjoy some Castlevania, I think. I'm gonna learn to, and then probably jump straight into Soten afterwards. Depending how I feel, if I need more time. To like, cleanse my palate after this game. I just want to play some 2D goodness after this. At least we're gonna, well, my goal is to still play Onimusha after this. Well, you know, for the next videos. At least they're shorter, man. At least they are shorter. Didn't have to use that anymore. That might be that one. Almost. My cute immortal balding scythe wife. There you go, man. I love the grabs he did on the counter hit. Most mechanically fun guy in the series, plus cool. Yeah, he's a really cool character, man. Especially for using a scythe. Do you regret buying it? I didn't buy this game. I rented it. Thank goodness, bro. Like after, oh, dude, I am so glad I played the demo So glad. Because wow. The feeling would have been so, what's the word I'm looking for? Like my stomach would have sunk or sank playing this game after paying how much is it? 80 bucks? Jeez. That's crazy. That is crazy. I say just go play the first game over this. I think that's my description for this video. Just go play the first game. Like a lot of people skipped it, so just go back. For a second, I thought it was a boss from Nioh 1 with that ice attack. But yeah, I just did the Gamefly thing. I think it was 20 bucks, 25 for the certain plan to rent brand new games. So yeah, I paid 25 bucks to play this game within a month. So not a bad deal. Even then though. I could have been playing more Castlevania. That's such a good move. That kick. I usually use it after mashing the same light, heavy combo, and I'm out of key. So I'll use the yokai ability to like reposition, as well as you know, start the key regen as soon as I use it. I didn't even lay a single finger on this guy. He was low health already. I'm not sure if that was the Guardian, like the cinematic. Speaking of Castlevania, director of New Bloodstained died. Really? On his first director get after like no. Dude, that sucks. Did this happen like yesterday or like this week? Nioh 1 was when gaming wasn't as big. Nioh 2 is people not being sick enough to recognize perfection. Yeah, man. Yeah. Fingers crossed, man. Crazy how much changed in 10 years. It is, again, it's pretty funny how like 90% of my deaths in this game is from like the environment and not combat. Oh, please don't tell me we have to do that all over again. If we do, we might be in a Yaiba situation where I completely just lose. Oh, thank goodness. Okay, at least it did that. It had the decency to not start this long, drawn-out thing. Dude, yeah, this game would have been Yaiba tier immediately if it did that. Dude, I would have been even more harsh on this game. The Walk of Shame. Shouldn't be too long though. Okay. Nioh 3, man. I hope I hope the streams told you everything you needed to know about this game. I'll say that. I hope I helped to avoid. It's a chill time. If you want a very chill game, this is perfect. But yeah.
I tread a path paved in the blood of my compatriots. You must carry on that legacy.
I would have not expected that voice from like that Tanuki. Oh, wrong menu. He was very passive, wasn't he? I think last time you guys were asking if the perfect dodge shuriken follow-up auto destroyed parts, and I think so. I think so. So again, there's no point on like specific hitboxes anymore either. And especially for playing the ninja, you want to get behind him anyways, and there's no weak points to worry about. So yeah, perfect dodge solves your problems. And yeah, just go for the back every time.
This was our most earnest desire. This is in your hands, Nioh.
We're almost done.
Great burden for us, and forge onward.
Some people think different about the open world. I thought the SX looked really cool, so I guess the gameplay mechanic. Yeah, I'm not. My problem is the ninja style. It's pretty strong, extremely strong. It outclasses samurai so much. You don't have to play Nioh anymore. You don't need to worry about hitboxes, frame data, whether it hits high or low. You don't need to care about like the differences of the dodges anymore. Like all that's is gone in this game. And it's because of ninja. That's why I think this game I don't mind this style idea, but it's the fact we're still carrying Nioh 1 enemies into this game in Nioh 2. The differences are only larger because they weren't designed for the speed of this character, or jumping, or aerial combat. So yeah, it's not as interesting as the past games, especially because of the uninteresting level design. So things feel samey pretty quick. Very quick. And I'm not even doing anything crazy with my ninja build. I just been auto equipping like the past 40 hours, 50 hours. And it's only been getting better as time goes on. Like I'm not doing anything specific. This might be the final guy. You're so lucky I didn't have key. I'm assuming that's it. Round of Bikini feels dumb. Kasumi is fine because I don't like her or care about her character at all. Half the girls look like the same girl with different hair. He has Rachel, but her moves is tiny. Overrated, you think, for DOA? But yeah, we just got this. I'm guessing the final boss first try. Yeah. Underrated. Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, I was about to say, like, the animations are pretty damn good in DOA. Hated when the sexualization became the only notable thing. They got a super ugly in half of the girls. Oh, okay, okay. Thoughts on DOA? It's been pretty cool to see like the revival. Like not even talking about the games, but like with TNS, right? TNS is coming back, showing it off for a while. I think it's having a side tourney in Evo for 6. And again, like Smug is playing it. It's like more like big name players. And then of course the revival. So it's pretty cool, man. Like there was a natural sort of resurgence before the titles came out. And that's only going to fuel it even further to keep people playing until then. So yeah, it's pretty cool how people came back to bring it back.
I finally managed to stop you.
But yeah, I'm assuming that's Nioh 3. Yeah. Honestly, not sure who's more OP, Ninja or Sam, but Ninja's easier. Yo, Ninja is crazy good. I want to believe Samurai is also very strong, especially with like deflect builds or hyper armor stuff or damage reduction. But that's the thing though, you have to build into that. For Ninja, I didn't do anything. All I did is put on the basic. I just put on Fire Shuriken. You get this in the first map, and it stays good the entire game. These you get very late, for the most part. But even before I used these, the game was super easy. Like when you saw me play the Region 2. Like between that stream and now, I barely put this on. Yeah, pretty good. Yeah, I don't have anything crazy. I didn't even buy a lot of my stuff. Everything's empty. I didn't buy anything for anything. Samurai's obviously barren. I bought some stuff for this. Like some of the tools. But all I've been doing is auto-equipping every time. Like I don't care about any of this. That's all I do. Maybe change the weapon, and that's it. I have been having these give me Fire Shuriken buffs, and that's it. My stats aren't crazy either. It's all like spread even. So I'm not doing anything specific. So Ninja on its own is just that powerful. You don't need to make a crazy... What's the word? You don't have to make a specialized build to get value out of this style. It's just amazing from the get-go. And again, it helps because enemies aren't built for this thing. So you play your own rules. You play by your own rules. Well, Samurai still has to play Nioh. But the best way to play Nioh 3 is to not play it at all. In both ways. Just play Ninja. It just breaks the rules of the game. Except Knight Rider. Knight Rider. Dude, yeah. My impressions have not changed. It might have worsened over time. I think I got more... Like, let's just get this over with. But yeah. It's done. We just beat the game. We beat the final boss, first try. Even the bosses leading up to it, we got it on, at most, a second try. So it's not too crazy of a game. Better than Rising having boring empty lists with like 5 actives. Rise of the Ronin is not too bad, man. Again, the saving grace for that game, even though it has open world, is the enemy design. Because those humans actually work with the mechanics. instead of like letting you do whatever. Like it makes sense in that game. And if you like the more customization, almost like simulation somewhat, not really, but it gets there. Samurai with artificial type armor can do. Yeah, I think so too. I think so too. Like the chaining. But again, it takes more build up, like more preparation for that. You need the meter to actually do stuff, right? You need the proficiency. You need all the right passives. You need the right clan, the right armor set. You need all the right crucible art, everything to work. Ninja, you don't. I literally just been using light, heavy, heavy the entire game in Fire Shuriken. And then the magic in the last 15 hours. And again, I'm not doing any passives. I just been having the usual Kodama stuff as everyone else. Yeah, you need way more to get anything out of Samurai. While Ninja's pretty strong.
The role of Shogun is mine, and mine alone.
You should check out Way of the Samurai. I think you'll find it. Yeah, I remember that was brought up last time. I would like to check that out sometime. I remember when Rise of the Ronin was coming out, I wanted to cover Yakuza Ishin, Way of the Samurai, and there was another PS2 sort of like similar game like that, like samurai game. But as always, man, I have a lot of different plans and themes, but plans change all the time. More focused story plus sidekick weapon. And it's very replayable, right? Like it wants you to replay the game multiple times. They didn't show us a Harakiri. I don't know why they wouldn't though. Like there was a emote for it in 1 and 2. So why not show it now is probably very strange. The granddad. Oh, okay. And probably done way more better too. I can imagine with it being on PS2, it's made it more focused. Like the open world anyways, like how big it is. But yeah. Again, every time I'm showing this game off, we quickly talk about something else other than Nioh 3. And when we do, it's not that positive. And that's a good way to cap off this game. I think so. It has actually, how do I say this? It has combat in there, and I did put it in my tier list along with Prototype 2. Should I have? No clue, but I had fun as like getting into the mechanics of the game. I had fun with it. There's actually some cool ideas with Prototype, man. I remember actually brainstorming what I would have liked to see in that game, like for a potential third one. Yeah, because 2 is pretty fun. I think I really like 2's mechanics. 1 has some stuff like the in-air power bombs and stuff, but enemies are non-existent and they die way too quick to even do those setups. If it was quicker, like if you had more access to them, if you had quicker access to those moves, it would be better. But yeah, Prototype's super fun. Less interesting? Yeah. It definitely is. I think I put it in C tier, but it's still a fun game. It doesn't have to be the tip top of the genre to be fun. I had a lot of fun with it. Absolutely peak game. Dude. Well, I'm glad this is over, man. It would have been cool to see what they do for New Game Plus, but I don't have any what's the word? Not drive, but no. Yeah. Don't feel like it. Like, I doubt it would change too much. It probably would change, like, placements, like in previous games, but when you're swapping one guy in open field with another, you're just gonna be fighting the same enemy in the same spot again. It doesn't really change much. It has one move. Has one more weapon in the DLC. Yeah, I'm assuming that's gonna happen. Yeah. That would be extremely unfortunate. Cause like yeah. That'd be crazy if it's only one weapon. I'm expecting it. But like I have my wants for that DLC, but I doubt we'll see that at all. I think it'll be very safe of a DLC. But we'll see. Have you played Stranger Pride? Of course I have. Let me see. I just played it recently. That was... How long was that? Pretty much in a week I got the platinum. Yeah, fun game, man. I would much rather scroll through this than play Nioh 3 anymore. I think it's an A. Transformers Devastation. There are parallels with Stranger Paradise, like with the style system. Well, the job system, the two builds at the same time. But there was actual, like, synergy. You wanted to swap to both. There was no, like, one that was way better than the other. Like, I like to use multiple jobs. And again, the levels way more... Not only were they references to past Final Fantasy games, which was cool, but they have their own, like, unique stage hazards, layouts, you know. It was way more interesting game than Nioh 3. Like, they have the same ideas, but they were applied better. Sound like you were... No. No, I wasn't, man. Okay, since you're here, let me show you a famous clip we got. Oh, it's gonna be hard to find, actually. Because I did a whole region off stream getting clips, so I'm not too sure how fast I'll find it. Ooh, it shouldn't be too far. Damn, yeah, because there's some very wonky AI pathing in this game, unfortunately. I'll just play this. But yeah, it's a different game, but always one support class, one damage class. Yeah. You borrow the input system. Dude. Okay, 1 second. I'll be right back. While I'm gone, what's your favorite run and gun? Okay, 1 second. Alright, we're back. But yeah, I was trying to learn Blazing Chrome last year. Like, I finished it, but I wanted to practice to do a playthrough for the Year of the Ninja. I wanted to play as Raijin. I think that's his name. Really tough to learn that character. because it's such a different playstyle, like an up close one. You know, when everything else is like projectiles, but yeah, that Joy Master, man. Play the other games too, even Onikin. Onikin's really good. Vengeful Guardian is really good. Blazing Chrome is good, of course. I feel like I'm... Oh, Odalis. They did Odalis, but I didn't really get into that game. I like the look. But yeah, for some reason, I couldn't get into it. I bought the Onikin Odalis bundle, and... Yeah, I went through Onikin a few times, but not Odalis. I think I quit pretty early on. But yeah, the clip definitely happened before this. It was like right when we entered the second region. Oh, is this it? It is. Look at the majesty. That is Nioh 3. I like the game, but at the same time, I feel like what enjoy the most could get from Eastern Empires a lot. The game starts strong, but evolves in post game, unfortunately. Are you talking about Stranger Paradise devolving in the post game stuff? So I agree if it's like the DLC, because I didn't care for the DLC for Stranger Paradise, unfortunately. Doom, you might as well, man. It might as well. Speaking of Doom, there was a if you guys remember, or if you ever watched the James and Mike Monday show on Cinemassacre, I was rewatching a Doom made mod inspired by Castlevania. So yeah, if I ever play modded Doom, I'm gonna play that at some point. That was pretty fun. On par with Contra Hard. It is, man. It is definitely heavily inspired by hardcore. Now we just wait for something to be on tier with Uprising, and then we're good. Nioh 1 was also cheesy when you get some game knowledge. I would assume so, but how much do you have to earn it? Because even with my knowledge of the game, yeah, I know there's probably something strong with the living weapon, right? I heard that was pretty damn strong, living weapon. But like maybe you have to build into faster charges, damage buffs, stuff like that. But like, how much preparation time do you need to do to get to that point? You know? And again, Nioh 2 also gets pretty silly with the builds. But again, something you have to farm for. That's really late into the game. But yeah. Kusa and living weapon? Oh, okay. I love cheese. But you love this type of cheese, though. The Chaos Must Die mod makes Stranger Paradise post game more like base game, so hazards work as they should. Okay, that's something else I like to show off, and not this, because this goes on for a while. Where is it? Is this it? Dude, this boss is crazy. This is probably one of my favorite, like, super bosses. Like, it's crazy fun. Pretty overtuned numbers, I gotta say. Okay, I think that, yeah, this boss is a long one. I think the first phase I'm pretty familiar with. But once my friend and I got to the second phase, that's where things fell apart. Otherwise, though, this boss, I mean, is really fun. For the longest time, I thought a lot of this was unreactable, especially those like instant killing, unblockable attacks, and you know, not you can't soul parry it. Yeah, this is a really fun boss, especially the first form. I'm sure I would like phase 2 if I actually learned it, but when you die in one hit, it's so scary to try to attempt to learn this guy. But yeah, it took us a while to figure out, like, okay, what's that form called? Dimension Bringer? The one we slow down time after building up stacks? But yeah, you have to play this guy pretty much perfectly, especially in the first form. It's very satisfying though, because you got to constantly swap your job systems to like get a refreshed meter. Because like that charge immediately broke my entire gauge. So if I want to keep soul parrying, I got to swap. You want to be able to stack as many of the Dimension Bringer as you can. He shoots while moving. Yeah, this guy, Ninja is number 1 support class. Okay, this is in Nioh 3. We just beat Nioh 3. Like I'm just showing a replay right now. Like anything other than Nioh 3 at this point, because I just got more and more tired of the game as it went on. But yeah, we just beat it. It was pretty smooth sailing. The last final bosses we got pretty much first try, except one of them, and that was second try. It's a faulty game. Cheese needs to be entirely player agency. Here, or is it actually? No, this is actually in the game. This is a reference to a super boss in the Final Fantasy series. I think it also shows up in 1 too, or maybe just the. No, I think even the first game, like very first one, not just the PSP remake or the GBA remake. But yeah, this was always a hidden boss in the game, but now you just get to fight him in real time. But yeah, it keeps its status as a super boss because get hit once and you will die, and he has insane amount of health. So yeah, you gotta come prepared for this guy. And the game doesn't really give you much time to do that. You have to play these. The game expects you to have like these perfect builds. So I feel like the DLCs lean too much into builds being what makes the difference and not your skill. But that can just be me though. Yes, once we figured out the Dimension Bringer stuff, that made a difference. It's also giga lame. No, it's the only way to beat this guy. Although a sequel, though, I'd be afraid if they added burst counters, dances, etc., it might make it more Nioh. Yeah, and that's the problem with Nioh, right? It became more and more of a different games. So that's why I kind of feel like it has an identity crisis because of that. Yeah, it should have been an entirely new game, Nioh 3. This is let me see. Stranger of Paradise. This is the first super boss at the end of the first DLC. Quite the hurdle. I think my friend and I took 5 hours of attempting this. Like we were at it for a long time. A long time. And this final form takes majority of the runtime. The first form is my favorite, but this last one, yeah, we're kind of just running scared. Especially me. Like, okay, whoever has the aggro, the other one, go ahead and do some chip damage. it might have been better. Again, we just immediately hopped in from New Game. Like the builds we had at this time is what we had from New Game. So we were definitely underpowered for this by a lot. Yeah, and I think that's a problem with the DLC for this game. It really requires like perfect builds. It feels like that's why we couldn't beat the final boss of the third DLC. It's just too insane. Like we actually beat the first form pretty consistently. It's just the second one. Like I think if our builds were just a bit better, especially mine, we could have done it, I think. But yeah, every DLC you jump into, it forces you to play on the new highest difficulty. So there's no in between. There's no like, what's the word? Gradual difficulty. You immediately have to jump to the newest peak, which is higher than the last one by a good margin. So yeah, and the DLC is nothing but like asset reuses and padding and time wasting. It's only the third DLC where we get a new stage, which is cool. But the first two DLCs were pretty meh. Degenerate gameplay. It is. But I'm telling you, look at that. You get hit once and you die. And we do chip damage because of like the inflated numbers of the DLC. So it's what we had to do, man. Yeah, this is the only thing we could do because the balancing of the DLC is pretty number inflatey. So yeah, pop shots, no, quick little 1-2 swipes and we're out of there. It was funny, man. Yeah, the base game is really good with this difficulty from like start to finish, but I'm assuming they probably did this to get value out of the game. Like, okay, let's make people play longer by making it badly balanced. Like force, like, grinding. Which is something I actually never did in Nioh. Like, I never farmed for, like, the right roles and stuff like that. Even in Borderlands, like, that was the first game I played with an emphasis of gear. Yeah, I didn't care for that type of stuff. Like, I played for hundreds of hours just playing the game, different characters, different difficulties. Like, that's more than enough, but yeah, this difficulty or balancing is pretty wonky. That's why I hate action RPGs. The extra numbers junk takes away from the action. Exactly, yeah. I feel like the split between, action, what's the word? You skill action game player and his RPG player was pretty nice in the base game. But they threw it out the window in the DLC. It was pretty fun doing that though. Doing an entire soul parry for that little burst, like bubble attack. Easy way to get your stacks up. That's pretty much all we waited for. Wait for the 0 dimension, I think it was called. Build up as many stacks as possible. And just pray. That's all we could really do. Vanilla DMC3 or Modest style? Okay, when you say Vanilla 3, do you mean PS2 Vanilla or Special Edition Vanilla? I'll probably go with Special Edition, like the PS2 one, because it fixes the balancing. I would say the Switch version, but doesn't the Switch have baked in input lag? Like 6 frames, I think, or 5. So even, like, it's a cool version, but it's definitely a compromised. It's on a, not so good console when it comes to action games. PS2. Oh yeah, I think I played DMC 3 on PS2 like once, like a long time ago. After that, I never went back. I mainly just play on the modern version of it now, the special edition, like the one you'll see on the HD collections. I'm telling you, man, this game is crazy. I'll show the Emperor boss fight after this. That's a really good fight. Like, so is this one. To an extent, as you can tell, you get hit once and you die immediately. You have to play perfect. But again, it could also because the balancing is wonky. Yeah. Two cheaters out cheating each other? Dude. Sounds like Ninja Gaiden 2. No, I'm not. I'm from California. I need to get back on the raiding or riding grind. Oh yeah, you're still doing that, right? Cope. No! It's not a skill issue, I swear. It's the game's fault. That or it's mundane as hell, like Crisis Core. Is it okay? I beat Crisis Core twice growing up, and I don't remember that. I don't remember it being pretty bland, but when you have nothing to play on the PSP, yeah, I guess I just played it quite a lot at the time. I also spent a lot of time farming in Final Fantasy 1. So maybe probably was just used to it. I would just go to the caves and walk back and forth and grind for ogres all the time. Oh, that's what I kind of hate. Okay, yeah. How long is this fight? Dude, we did this for 15 minutes. Well, 12, 13 minutes. And then we're just popping off for a while. Yeah, Gilgamesh is actually a really fun fight. Gilgamesh is fun, Emperor is fun, Death Machine's fun. Oh, I didn't save a video. That sucks. But yeah, this is the final boss, I think, of the third DLC. But yeah, this is as far as we got. We tried, man. Look at that, one hit, you're dead. That's it. So the balancing is still crazy. Not in your favor. One mess up and you're dead. But it was fun while it lasted, though. Like, I think we played for cool like 40, 50 hours. A lot of it was just mundane, busy work. Talking to Bahamut all the time, replaying the same stages, get the Dragoon points, whatever. And then doing pretty much the same thing in the tower. Just doing the same small missions again. So yeah. DLCs are kind of time wasty. But the bosses are good. When they want to be. Oh, okay, the remake. Level design is awful, quarter, similar. Again, numbers talk. Oh, okay. Not going to sugarcoat it. What do you think about the AI changes that they made were off? I think most action games should do that. Make enemies off-screen passive. I think most should do that. I think that's just fair, to be honest. I am not looking forward to... Now that this is done, now that I beat the game, I have to spend more time going through 350 clips. That's not gonna be fun. Yeah, go through all of them, see which ones I want to keep, title them. So yeah. Blazing Chrome. These are some cool boss fights in this game. But yeah, I was trying to learn it real quick, like before NG4 came out, like within that like 1 week of trying to get like a 1cc practice, but it didn't work out for me. I needed more time. And this is a game I haven't really played too much. So I got to like learn the game and then learn how to play a more specialized character. And I got to like hold a charge button a lot with Raijin. But I tried this game. I couldn't get into it too much. I see what they're going for, but speaking of Joy Masher, I never really noted what an enemy did beyond. Oh, okay. Oh, in Stranger Paradise, I think the same thing. Yeah, I think most games should have enemies off screen be passive. I guess that's just the limits of the camera. You got to make like exceptions for it, but that's why I do like the argument for having more like zoomed out cameras like God of War, because you have to look at everything all at once. There's no downtime because of that. Because even in DMC4, like during my DMD playthrough, like I would use the corners quite a bit against the ice guys, because they're pretty aggressive. But being in the corner, you can just cycle them in one at a time. So yeah, it can be cheesy, but that's just again, I want dive kicks in my action platformers. Yeah, it can be cheesy, but it's also fair to not have things hit you off screen you had no idea that was happening. But this game is so fun, man. I think this is the perfect follow-up to Mega Man X4. It has the same appeal to me. Like I did so many like theory crafting routes for this game, and like playing in different playstyles and like routes. It was pretty fun. Real enemies that can challenge you, thinking they got more legacy sound designers on the team. The 3-hit combo is all you got, plus a 2-hit combo on your magics. This is just black or dodge. This is Vengeful Guardian Moonrider. This came out like 2020, maybe 2021. I should have a... Yeah, this is when I very first played the game. 23, okay. Yeah, I was looking forward to this game for a long time. Yeah, super fun game. Really good game. You can like put on a little CRT filter. There are very few indie developers out there moving away from Euro design. The Brazilian. Dude, these guys know exactly what they're doing. Like, I would put up with classic action platformers way more than modern ones. Like, I rarely give modern action platformers the time of day when it comes to like practicing them, because I don't think they really nail. They really understand like the sort of like balancing act of the games. But everything Joy Masher does, they're not wrong with their slogan that they understand these games, because they really do. Like, really good. People who suck at platforming, no, this game's actually crazy. Like, look at that. You have to do super tight, small platforms. I would compare this to X4 03, Shinobi 3, a little bit of Batman on the NES, just for this reason alone. Like, this type of wall jumping. Like, that feels a lot like Batman on the NES. And again, just like in 03, you can find these chips. You equip them for your own little playstyle. You can pick and choose your starting stages. You have the 3-hit combo like 0. Yeah. And even like some of the stages are very reminiscent of like X4, like the train one specifically. So it hits all the right notes, like the general. Oh, and Hagane, of course. That's another game. Dude, this game was so fun. Like, I did a routing. So I know, like, doing the Geo Crusher gives you iframes. Same way in X4, right? So having that sort of knowledge of where they got their inspiration from helped out here. So you could use, like, the wall jump skill, but you can also, like, route getting the skill early to make this part easier. But yeah, Geo Crusher also is really good against the boss too coming up, I think. Yeah, stuff like that is what made X4 so fun to me. And then when I played Gravity Circuit, it didn't feel that way. I didn't have a single time where I had to route different paths, my upgrade paths, unlockables. Maybe if I wanted like something to make the stage easier or the boss easier, usually X4 would have like one or the other when it comes to the upgrades in the stage. Like I remember doing runs where I will start with the Stingray, and sometimes I'll start with Peacock. Usually I save those for the end, but I decided to do the opposite, and it's still doable. Even without the double jump or the spin attack, you can do Peacock with just pure movement of basics. And Stingray is pretty easy. Like you can't do the loop with the icicle, of course, but the stage itself is pretty easy with the basics, right? Because it's just this auto scroller. You just gotta catch all the upgrades. But yeah, like that's what I liked about X4 so much, and this game. You can approach it in multiple different ways, and they'll all be viable. So I got a lot of replay out of this game. And I did like personally email the devs. I was like asking them for mirror mode and a boss rush mode. The same thing Blazing Chrome got, but it never got it, unfortunately. I tried, man. I tried. Are abundant. Yeah, CRT filters are pretty cool, man. 2 Run Saber. I gotta play that game. I played it for a little bit, but yeah, and this little aircraft stage reminds me of like Strider 2. I think another game has it. I think Hagane, but I don't think so. Not the same level. But yeah, that little screen right here, you can equip your different chips every time. You can put 2 on at once. And again, very similar to 003. And you can change them for like upcoming bosses, platforming sections. Yeah, really fun game if you've never played it before. I don't know why I think it was the aesthetics. Moonrider looks cool. Gravity looked man. Yeah. Gravity looks good. I like it because it's sort of like a GBA game. Like a more advanced GBA game. But it doesn't nail the appeal for me when it comes to Mega Man X games. And it's the routing and like the multiple paths you can take. This game does. I think it does a perfect job. And this, if you notice the thing in the background, 1-to-1 reference to Ninja Gaiden on the NES, the demon statue. So they knew where to pick inspiration from and knew what to pick from them. Like they understood what made the classics pretty damn good. On Discord. Oh yeah, I'll check it out, man. Speaking of X series, I wanted to tell you about X567. I gotta get to those, man. I've only heard so things about him, but yeah, I gotta play them for myself. Oh yeah, I did a no death run for Shadow of the Ninja Reborn and the original. Yeah, those games are really good, man. I did them on the Switch though for Reborn, so I don't have clips of it to show off. And I got the Mega Drive look perfectly. Yeah, exactly, man. You fight this guy a few times in the game. I can't get enough of the dive kick. It's such an underrated mechanic in action platformers. Pretty pretty fun. Do you like broadest? Do you mean like beat 'em ups? Yeah. I wish I played more, but it's definitely my least experienced series. Like I'm not the best at them, but I still enjoy them. And you have to angle the dive kick just right. There's like a diagonal and also like a super tight one like that. So there's like a lot of control for it. Constant movement. The bosses are sort of like fighting game bosses. Like you saw earlier, one of them did like DPs, you know. Fast movement, fast kills, short time to kill. A lot of variety. A lot of mix and matching with your routing. Really good game. I probably should stop spoiling it because it's pretty good. What do I have here? What a shame. Looked amazing, but didn't play too well. This is what I was talking about. This game sort of mimics Natsume, especially like Shatterhand. But I just can't... I couldn't give it the time of day to practice it. I don't know. I feel like these games don't really... It could just be my bias, because I feel like they don't deserve it. Like, okay, I would definitely practice like Shatterhand or Power Blade. I don't know. I feel like something about the older stuff has a certain appeal that newer games can't really replicate so well. Like Ragebound, for example. It's fun, but it's not Guardian Moonrider fun. That's the like when it comes to like what I'm looking for from action platformers. There's a certain... Is this it? No. There's a certain fight I like with Frankenstein's monster. I don't have it. But yeah, I'm not sure what else there's to show before we just call it for the day, to be honest. Bum, bum, bum. Indeed slows you down. Oh, the turtles, yeah. 3 different endings and choose freely between X and 0. Based on your choices per se. Isn't there also like a percentage based thing you have to look out for? Like whether or not the cannon lands or something like that? I remember that being like a mechanic. Scores up to... Dude, I think so. I think you should play Cuphead. Where is it? Because it definitely started my love for run and gun, so it might be something there for you. It's a pretty fun game. Let me show an actual... I don't have all the boss fights. I think I got the ones where I beat it on expert, I think. Like expert versions of it. Being killed by giving 90s IPs to bad devs. Yeah. I think they see it as a quick cash grab. And they rely on like the IP more than the mechanics. But I wonder if that's the same thing even back then. Right. Because I haven't played like the Simpsons arcade, beat 'em up, or like all the Turtles ones. I sort of assume they're also pretty phoned in. But again, I'm not super knowledgeable on beat 'em up to say. And the DLC is really good. That's also a really good expansion. The Adventure of Little... I heard about that game before. The Adventures of Little Ralph. That's the PS1 shoot 'em up, right? I think so, anyways. The Cuphead one day. Cuphead looks too good. The art is too accurate. They did too good of a job. Dude, yeah. Very, very good job. Yeah, highly recommend you play this game eventually. It's pretty fun. But the Get a 5-0, X or Evil 0. Ooh. Weekend 0 is the easiest to reach because of the bad ending. Oh, okay. Adventure Little Ralph. Oh, okay. Action platformer? Okay. Yeah, I can never have enough of those, man, so. Oh, let me see something real quick. We'll hang out for like 7 more minutes. Because in 7 minutes, it'll be exactly 3 hours of a stream. That's not too bad. So we'll do that. But yeah, I played the DLC at 6 in the morning, like as soon as it dropped in the store. And I beat it all in that one session. I did stream the entire thing. It is on my Twitch, but I didn't bring it over to my playlist because I didn't have the base game stuff. But yeah, it is on there though. What can I show for like 7 minutes? There'll be something here. It's a shame that Samurai Aces 3 isn't good. I didn't care for it too much. In dog hours, yeah. You know how long... When I said 8 minutes, it went on for an hour, so... Or literally Street Fighter 2. Oh, yeah, the frogs. Super early on, yeah. See ya, Retro. Take care. Originally supposed to end the series until X6 came along, which, by the way, combined all 3 endings, which makes no sense. Oh, so there's no, like, canonical right answer for that game. Yeah, you gotta make it make sense somehow to continue the series. I mean, I wish I was better at Gunbird too. I feel like the earlier games are more fair. Like, those are the only ones I was able to beat. Like, Samurai Aces, Gunbird 1, and Tengai. But when I've tried to play Dragon Blaze, this one, there's like one more. They're super hard. Like, they start fine. Like, they're pretty fair. Like, a nice pace. But yeah, stage 4, stage 5, no. It's crazy. I did try to learn Strikers 1, though. Like, I actually spent a good time practicing it, but... yeah, I just need more time. So I think Strikers 1 I could do. I think I can get it once you see it in that game. Playing Sakyo Shmups. Those are the only ones I've played. Like, I got Mushihime-sama on the Switch before it got delisted, so I picked it up just in case. For the future. But... yeah. Other than that, I haven't played much. I played Turbo Force, which is video system, same for like Aero Fighters. So my only experience is only like Saikyo and the previous team. Anything other than that, though, I'm pretty unaware of what's out there. I got drawn to them because of their style, though. Like the character designs. And I actually do like the patterns because, like, when it comes to bullet hells, it's... for me, I can't keep track of, like, my tiny hurt box amongst, like, raindrops, pretty much. So, for me, it's hard to keep track of everything. But yeah. I do have Guwange, though. I do have that on my Xbox. And I do want to also buy KOF Sky Stage on there. So when we do Soten, so I plan to play on my Series S. I won't go for clears because I never practiced them, but we can do that. I'm down to play some Gawange. It's right, dude. Actually, when you told me about that, I actually looked into it, and I might be a fan. I might be a fan of Raiden because it reminds me a lot of Psycho in some ways. Well, just like art style wise, like two strikers, but I think I'll be into it. There was a game by Visco, I think, and that's another company that had a Psycho style shmup. I don't remember the name. I think it's Lightning Force. I think. There's also one called Trigon by Konami. Another like jet warship sort of shmup, but I tend to try to avoid those because I think the style is too vanilla sometimes. Like that's why I really like Gunbird and Samurai Aces because of like their theme. So that's what I really try to gravitate towards, but yeah. The style helps, but the patterns are really what draws my attention. Like I can't be full bullet hell, but like I know Psycho can get some insane bullet speed, especially when the ranking system kicks in like crazy fast. So it's all about like killing them before they even spawn. So we unlock 0, X wears a nerfed Falcon armor, and if you want a real Z-Zip. Oh, that's pretty cool. This doesn't look evil. Dude, once we get to state 1.4, 1.5, let me see. This also might be on like baby mode. So I did do a playthrough on baby. Yeah, this might be on a lower difficulty, but yeah, this part specifically is crazy on normal. I think I'm playing on lower difficulty here. Let me see. Yeah, you can tell by his patterns. His patterns are way more intense. Yeah, this is definitely a lower difficulty. Yeah, because this is where I always die. Like, I would be fine enough. But once I get to 1.5, that's where I die all the time. Yeah, you can tell by his patterns and like bully density that it's lower mode. This is the only way I can play this game on baby. The characters are actually like Asian or like anime characters. You don't really see that today. Doesn't I know on the Xbox version you can play as a sort of twin stick, right? Like you can control the Shikigami with one stick and you control it with the other. I know that wasn't intended originally, but I think that's new for the Xbox version. So I'm going to do that. Like mechanically, visually, especially the bosses. Like they're super out there. And I always like that sort of yokai theme. So that's why I got it when I did. But yeah. Again, that's why I want to get into Pocky and Rocky. Because it's sort of adjacent. Like with the theme. It's more of like a cute 'em up. But also like a running gun. But also like a... It's weird. It's a weird mix of... You can't really put it into a certain genre. It's something on its own, which is pretty cool. On pad, I only play on my PlayStation controller. When it comes to shmups, yeah. I don't have an arcade stick. If you look at the bottom left, it shows my controls right there. And I really like how it can do the auto fire on the right trigger. If it's way more comfortable to do it that way. Until you get one of the two armors, blade armor and shadow armor. Like, what do you guys usually play on? Do you play on console or like use Fightcade to emulate like shmups all the time? Or Fireburn Neo? Is that the other one? I remember hearing that a few times. Or do you like emulate with like an old 360 of yours? What do you guys usually play on? Wings which doesn't kill you but matters. Scaring. Oh, okay. Grazing. There was also Graze Counter. I think that came out recently, like 2 years ago. I wanted to play that one. But again, it gets into the territory of like bullet hell, which I'm not good at. I do want to play Lilac Zero super bad, like really badly. But it's only PC right now, so I haven't tried it. But yeah, Lilac Zero looks really good. It's clearly bugged and discourages to choose your own order. Oh, okay. Because there's some nightmare sections that are worse than others, right? Like some are way more manageable. Maim. Okay. Burn Nioh. It's just, okay. Yeah, I can imagine a lot of them are like, what's the word? Vaporware? Like abandoned like companies now, so. Yeah, you can tell this is on a lower difficulty. Because this guy's patterns is insane. I find it weird somebody could dodge him. I was half wondering if there's like a specific safe spot like people use constantly. But I don't know. Like I put like 3 times the amount of practice into this game than the first Gunbird, and I got that one pretty quick in comparison. Like an actual 1cc. Well, this one I had to play on lower difficulties. And if I played on normal, I got to 1-4 and then got obliterated. 360 with Xenia for some of the later cave games. Okay. The only one that are on there are Futari, right? Wasn't that an exclusive? I remember trying to grab it before the marketplace got delisted. But it was already gone. Like off the store. It might have been gone way before like the shutdown, but other than that though, I'm not too sure what else is on there. Oh, Raiden Aces, right? The triple pack. I know that was on there. That looked really fun. Some of the stages are rough. You could see, you should see my Nioh 3 VOD with Razi. One has random. Oh. Yeah, Nioh 3, man. Crazy game. For the easy config to overclock. Oh, nice. So you don't want the slowdown at all? I can imagine that makes the game harder, no? Sometimes I think the slowdown was probably intentional, I would assume. Meteors, blocks in a way, more blocks in a way. Darkness, mosquitoes. Yeah. I remember the combination of blocks. Well, the darkness with the clones, right? Like in some people's videos. But yeah, that was definitely like on a lower difficulty. Really cool game though. I like their style. Anything real quick before we sign off? I did try to play what's it called? I think it was called Hazelnut Haze or something like that. I got it on the Switch. I think that's what it was called. It has like a very pastel sort of color palette and like cute art style to it. Because it reminded me of Hagane. But yeah, it gets pretty crazy. Why one game in a series only is on Steam? Or if that's even official. I think Metal Slug 1 and 2 are definitely superior without slowdown. Oh, okay. Oh, 2 is 2 specifically, right? Yeah, I remember 2 being its main drawback was the slowdown. Hope no one would notice, dude. Again, because I was thinking about, of getting into Darkstalkers, like for the season, right? Castlevania year. And I was thinking afterwards, okay, there's Odo Medius. You can play as Kokoro, an official like Belmont in that game. And then I was thinking like, man, wouldn't it be such a cool idea to have a Darkstalkers shmup? That's where the thought process came from. If only, man. That would have been fun. Quite have the same experience as 2 with MX6 because X adds a lot of new weapons. So yeah, it's pretty much a new game, right? Between X and 2. That's cool in its own way. Different game. What's her name? Koyori, I think. I must have more playthrough of here, or like more time, but I don't think so. Yeah, Hagane? No, not Hagane. Tengai is really cool. Especially the character Hagane. Was so bad I played a guy and he kept infinitely comboing me with an unblockable projectile on wake up to anyone. Ooh. Man, that sucks, man. That's the problem, right? With fighting games, there's hardly any middle ground. You can either have casual matches with somebody else who has no idea what they're doing, or just get steamrolled. There's no in between. Because the game looks fun, like just visually, like super expressive, but it's overkill. You can't damage him unless you hit one of the sub weapons, then he attacks. That really hurts, dude. So did you play it recently? X5, because it seemed like you remember the game pretty. It seemed pretty familiar. PS2 Metal Slug Collection has no slowdown. Oh, that sucks, man. Solves one problem but gives another. I wonder how the PS2 collection of Tengai and Samurai Aces play. Like, there's a double pack, but I wonder how it performs. Dude, that was so lucky. This is why I saved the clip. Usually I just bomb as quickly as I can to just get rid of stuff. But yeah, there's some nasty like spread shots the two statues have, and the middle boss attacking at the same time. This might be like the most impressive on the fly dodging I've done probably. I have no clue how that happened. Yeah, Flush is really good actually. You never played him before? That's in the same pattern, yeah. But also it seems like the meta for Psycho games is nothing but point blanking and instant killing, which I do like. You gotta control the situation before it becomes a problem. Like that's why I use let me see, Hagane or Katane? Or Katana. Both names work. Oh, not this one. Yeah, use those little spears. And those charge shots, you can like stack a whole bunch of damage pretty quick. Oh, this also is a crazy pattern. I usually instantly die here. I have the resources usually. But yeah, the rank at this point in the game is pretty noticeable. So yeah, they fire pretty quick as soon as they show up. Yeah, fun games, man. Fun games. I'm kind of curious, like, there she is. No, I missed it. Like, I wonder how hard these games are. Because these are the first ones I ever got into. And this version, like the PS4 collection I have, there's no practice or save states. So I just had to keep resetting every time. But not too bad though, because the game's only 15 minutes long, which I actually really like. I actually don't like shmups that go above 25 minutes. Like these games really set the standard for me when it comes to playtime. Like I think Oda Medius is like an hour. I'm like, eesh, that's too long. All that's memorized, by the way. Whenever the big guy comes in, he shoots the same place every time. He recovers in the same spot every time. Yeah, so I'm already going down to the bottom. So yeah, this game is all about the consistency to keep the spears. And then instant killing as fast as possible. How can you not like the characters in this game? You just throw 30 bodies at you once. That's right a minute. Okay, I might like Raiden then. I might really like that game. Raiden, how fast his bullets are. And there's also a charge shot mechanic too, right? Like this game's big on that. Like all of them, pretty much. You have like an alternate fire button. I wish I played her more, Koyori. But that's my problem with her. I bomb, but she has no iframes. She puts out that explosive thing as a shield, but it doesn't cancel bombs on use, and you have no iframes on activation. If it wasn't for that, I would probably use her more. But yeah. I did the same process when I was playing Samurai Aces for the first time. Like I was trying to see which... Like I had no experience before Samurai Aces. So I'm like, okay, which one feels the best to me? Which one has the like iframes on the bomb? And like stuff like that. And like what type of like spread do I like? Or like firing style, which secondary shots do I like? And I landed on Flush, and then I found out he was actually very overpowered. Yeah, and then Ain's the secret character that's pretty damn broken. I should learn how to play this guy for once CC at some point. Yeah. With Ultimate Armor, which isn't what you want for your game, by the way. Oh, okay. Okay, guys, we'll call it here. It is exactly 7:01. Oh, on this game too. The Psycho is really cool, man. Really cool devs. But yeah, dude, again, I appreciate you stopping by to watch this. It sucks Nioh 3 wasn't the best of time. It was kind of soul draining, I gotta say, but I'm glad it's over. But I am going to come back with Castlevania 2 and Soten. So I might do that before making like my next video. So I need a palate cleanser. Yeah. Yeah, until next time, guys.